Hey, Steve.
Hi, Jacob.
Dude, it's been a long time, man.
We've been so busy.
Every Strong, Fast, and Beautiful podcast we do is we're like, consistency.
Consistent.
And then we can't even eat our own words. And I blame myself for that. And we're all to blame for that.
We like talking to each other, and we like learning from each other, and we all listen to podcasts and audiobooks and stuff. So we want to be able to put that stuff out.
This is a training talk with Steve and Jacob. So I consider this a part of the Strong, Fast, and Beautiful cast. It's like just a little breakaway. But it always gets really good feedback on the store page when I post it on IGTV. What this is, if you're new here, we haven't done one in like 2-3 months. It's basically Steve, he's a strength coach over at Sportless. I have my degree in strength and conditioning and all that. That's kind of what I studied. So we like to kind of go through different training methodologies. People ask questions. Mm-hmm. This man's an intense athlete, so I'm always trying to pry and figure out what he's doing next. Not really to discuss it or debate it too much, just to learn because, I'm a bro.
I like to say I learned by actually making the mistakes. And,
right.
Jacob's learned a lot. He's made mistakes.
I think we all have
had a lot of successes as well.
I want to discuss, before we even get into this, really quick, you're trying to do an Ironman this year.
I am trying to do an Ironman. So what an Ironman triathlon is, you have to swim 2.4 miles, bike 112, and run 26.2. And they have cutoff times and everything. And if you followed me or Jacob or the store, anything at all, you know that I only do stuff that scares me.
Yeah, it scares me too.
I probably can't swim 100 yards currently. So
we can
scared.
We can work on the swimming. Yeah.
Yeah, working on that. So
there's something to be said about doing things that you're not used to, you're not comfortable with. I mean, that's
that's true, but I only do things I suck at, which really bites me in the butt. But that's okay. That's not really the key to success, just FYI.
Yeah.
You should probably find something you're good at and go with it.
Yeah. Well, that's true. If you want to be the best, but if you want to mentally change yourself and, challenge. So let's dive into some of these questions.
Very first question I got, this one's going to be funny, and you're going to get a kick out of this.
Oh, here we go.
Those sweat waistbands, do they work, and what are they for?
Oh, man. So I'm
assuming they're talking about the
what is it? The sweet sweat?
Whatever. It supposedly is wrapping, makes you sweat.
Okay.
And I'm guessing localized sweat because.
Yeah, they so that company. I mean, it started out with It Works, making their little skinny wraps, and they made all kinds of claims about it toning and firming that area.
That one was more so like squeezing the fat into your system and letting it filter out, right?
No, that was their theory, but it was really just dehydrating the skin. That's all that it's doing, is pulling water out of your skin to make it look lean for about 20 minutes until you rehydrate, and then it's back. Okay. So, I mean, yeah, you wrap anything, like you put saran wrap around your stomach, man, you're going to get the same effect. But no fat, that every claim that's made about these things, ladies, if you guys, especially ladies, no offense, but they're the ones that buy the stuff. I don't think I've seen a dude that's promoting the skinny wraps.
Well, it was the guy that asked me. That's why I didn't include a name.
Oh, okay. Well,
I understand that this guy here, he's doing a lot of other things right. He's one of my athletes. He's really following his diet. He's trying to get his protein in. He's drinking a lot of water. He's just looking for that added edge, and to start off, sweating is not an added edge. Mm-hmm. You might have to speak to this, but sweating doesn't necessarily make you lose any more fat, right?
No, I mean it's a calorie burning process, but it's not burning fat. I mean it does require a certain amount of energy to produce the sweat, but
sweating does have health benefits, but if you're drinking a ton of water to supplement, your protein and
I mean, I guess the proof is in the pudding where it says, do they work? Well, yes, if your goal is just to sweat in that area,
right? But
if you're asking if they work in the realm of fat loss, no.
Yeah, it's the same thing. We're trying not to. Why would you drink a ton of water to carry your nutrients to your muscles and be healthy if you're going to just sweat it all out? It's not going to work.
Exactly.
Okay, next one. Is squatting every day a good idea for a normal person? And I'm assuming I'd cause this.
What is normal? No. Okay, so is working out every day is it a good idea for a normal person? I'm going to take the approach of a normal person.
It depends.
No. Yeah, I mean, if you're an average Joe Blow off the street, nobody's willing to dedicate 7 days to the gym anyway, even if we cut out the squatting. So for a normal person, no. But assuming the person asking that is above average and wants to be above average.
And decently in the gym often.
Yeah.
And,
Squatting every day is a great idea.
and I would say it depends specifically on your current activity level, for sure. To the working out every day thing, you have to define first what working out is. If you're doing a really intense hour-long CrossFit workout 7 days a week, probably not.
Mm-hmm.
If working out to you means getting better every single day, then squatting on a Monday, and then maybe on your off day you're doing a walk around your neighborhood with a 30-minute stretch session afterwards. That's working out to me. So you're attempting to get better. Squatting's the same thing. I know that I squatted heavy every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you have to regulate your intensity.
And there's repercussions to that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm dealing with a low back twinge now that has caused me to start lunging every day instead. Mm-hmm. Just keeping some weight off my back for a little while. Yeah. So that's, just depends.
Yeah, I guess your specific goal. I would advise some form of a squat every day just for mobility's sake. You don't have to put weight on your back necessarily.
Especially an air squat or a goblet squat.
Yeah, doing some kind of hip mobility. Especially if you work in an office-like setting or you're.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's one of the best things.
Do some kind of movement like
Stand up, knock out 10 squats, sit down, get back to work.
Right.
Yeah. Sometimes that's better than caffeine, just FYI. When you are training for an endurance event, why do you still lift heavy? Are there benefits to still lifting heavy? I want to be very well-rounded. Mm-hmm. It's not easy to still lift heavy, but you have to also realize that I'm cutting down the intensity of that workout with lifting weights. I'm trying to hit a decent number, and then I call it a day. I might do some accessories or something. I'm not doing 10 sets of 10 at 75% of my max.
Yeah, I mean, people want one thing they fail to realize is that our body energy systems, they're overlapping. So like, just because he's training heavy, he's still employing some of his aerobic energy system to conduct that weight, and vice versa when you're running. So it's good to have every energy system honed in and be able to execute. So squatting heavy, he will utilize the ATP system while he's running. So I mean, there's carryover.
It's tough. It's not easy.
Yeah. So that they don't have to be mutually exclusive. Now, if you're wanting to be the best marathon time in the world, obviously you're not going to be pushing super heavy weights. But there still needs to be some form of resistance training in there for the best, outcome.
Mm-hmm. And in most cases, I'm trying to lift before I run or at this point biking or swimming because, I'm probably not going to compete on fresh legs. I mean, that's just how it is. Mm-hmm. So being tired, forcing myself to do that work anyways. If I go in after a nice deload week, I'll feel really good competition day. As far as, and I kind of have to backtrack a little bit here. As far as like injury prevention and stuff like that, there's actually not a whole lot of research showing that lifting is any better for injury prevention when it comes to endurance. I couldn't find anything on that, but I will say being strong
for the specific purpose of endurance, right? Runners,
right?
Yeah.
A lot. There's a bit.
I was about to say because there's tons of it for sedentary people.
Yeah. I'm sorry. As far as endurance wise, a lot of people will claim that lifting is good for injury prevention for runners. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily, but it does help you on getting up hills better, getting down hills better. Mm-hmm. Force absorption, stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, because they're a different form of overuse. Mm-hmm. Especially the pressure that you're putting on your tendons and ligaments. I wouldn't see the correlation. You want to prevent injury on a run more. You want to
squat more.
Yeah, so specificity, baby, specificity.
Yep.
Let's move a little bit forward.
Okay, I travel for work and need suggestions. Your favorite books, podcasts for learning about training.
When I first got into it, I listened to a lot of podcasts about training. Mm-hmm. And then after a while, once I got into my degree and I just read so much, I don't really listen to a whole lot of podcasts about training anymore, but it's not my focus so much. So if I had to pick my top 3 books, if you're a novice, I would go with The Scientific Principles of Strength Training by Mike Israetel. Mm-hmm. That's a really good read. It's very quick. It's just super short. It's easy. He brings it down to earth. And then if you really want to maximize your knowledge and get into kind of what I do and talk about the Serious Strength Training, Volume 3 by Dr. Tudor Bompa. Very good idea. And then number 3 for me, if you guys want to get into programming, and this program's been used, it's been beaten into the ground, but I think his way
strength.
that I was gonna say Wendler 531 because I like the way he writes, and I also like the way he has this no BS approach to strength training.
And it's simplistic.
Yeah, like he doesn't overcomplicate it. So you guys want to get into some basic programming, very basic. 531 is not going to make you an elite lifter, but it's going to teach you a few things.
It's a good start.
Yeah.
It's a good start.
So
I like the Body of Knowledge podcast, Dr. Andy Gallopin.
BRB.
I also like, podcast-wise, I like Red Circle Radio. It used to be Attitude Nation, or Weightlifting Talk. Coach John North is the host of that one. I guess that's about it for training. I mean, I listen to a lot of podcasts, but training-wise, that's probably the only ones you're going to learn anything from that I know of. As far as videos, I like the hybrid performance method. That's a really good one. I guess we're probably going to wrap this up because we're opening the nutrition store now. So you can find us at TNSCEO and at the Nutrition Store on Instagram and Facebook. I'm Steven_Gardner on Instagram and Facebook. Yeah, look us up.